Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Xenonauts 2. As today, we're into month 6, so once again expecting another alien escalation, which is all the more reason for us to continue upping our air game. Primary goal today is to get that first airbase set up. Though, if we can also get a second Phantom going, we'll call that a bonus. Or perhaps even that Dragonfly. But before we get to any of that, let's go ahead and bank a few extra sets of Warden armor. We lost one with Justin, and we're going to need 2 more if we do in fact get the Dragonfly in play. And now we wait. There we go. Quantum Gateway. The recovered cleaner device was the culmination of a decades-long project to establish communication with our alien foes. While its sinister nature may not be immediately apparent, it brought doom upon Xdef, and perhaps our entire species. This was a foolhardy endeavor from the outset. The existential risks of attempting contact with advanced civilizations should be obvious. Nonetheless, Xdef constructed a crude replica of the damaged quantum communicator from the wrecked UFO and began to transmit a greeting into the void. Within weeks, a reply was received, a looping stream of raw data so massive that it took weeks to download. When finally decoded, the signal was found to contain a library of mathematical formula and detailed 3-dimensional schematics for a gateway device capable of exchanging prodigious quantities of information. These mathematical formula advanced human understanding of quantum mechanics and elementary physics by at least 50 years. Hoping to establish further contact with the aliens, Xdef began the vast job of constructing the gateway almost immediately. Catastrophe might still have been avoided had Xdef employed less mediocre scientists. Several were alert enough to notice that the gateway was capable of transporting physical matter, but any security concerns faded once calculations confirmed it would be impossible to transfer more than a few grams. Alas, the deliberate errors in the alien formula lay undiscovered until it was too late. Unaware several key constants had been understated by a factor of almost 1,000,000, Xdef unwittingly spent years building a device capable of translocating an alien assault force into the middle of their own headquarters. Sadly, the rest is history. Thankfully, we may yet find our own use for the captured quantum gateway. In practical terms, it is effectively an enormous alien hyperdrive, a rather valuable device that would otherwise be almost impossible for us to build within the expected timescale of this war. Indeed. And while it wasn't included in the original early access build, at least not the one I played, I think we can probably guess what that is in fact for, which would be our endgame. When we inevitably take the fight to them and bring an end to this eternal war. But for now, we'll happily take the extra funding. Also, let's go ahead and get that X3 Dragonfly off the ground. I doubt we're going to have it ready in time for our next actual away mission, but it is good to at least get it started. And then beyond that, we'll probably do Guardian Battle Armor. I feel like we are about due for another defense upgrade. Man, I want to get that quantum array going too, but we just can't spare the Elenium. Between the Dragonfly and the Phantom, it's all pretty much spoken for, so we just need to keep an eye out for our next potential source. I mean, okay, yep, we're seeing something up top right. Which honestly just kind of clinches it. Let's go ahead and break ground on our first airbase. And, looking at just the raw panic numbers here. Latin America is obviously struggling, but so too is the entire Soviet Asian arena. So yeah, I was already kind of leaning east anyway, but now we've also got this continued strafing going on, so let's pull the trigger. But we will get, the Phoenix Point set up next. And we are still charged a variable amount based on where we're set. Australia is counted as part of Asia, so I'm not hugely concerned about keeping it covered, because as long as we keep the bulk of Asia covered, I think we're okay. Which means, like, right around here, maybe. That would give us just enough to get the bare essentials going. What is that? That's like Gobi Desert? Which does, I think, make the name easy. Welcome to Airbase 404 Not Found. A Cold War era facility provided by our Asian associates. Which, for those unfamiliar, is actually a real thing. Not the aliens and such, but the secret Chinese Factory 404. Go ahead and look it up sometime. It's a pretty wild story. Cold War shenanigans at their finest. Not enough to do a radar yet, but that's fine. We'll hold off one more day. The important thing was just to break ground and get that hangar going. Ugh, and now we're seeing strafing out west. Yeah, we'll get something set up out there soon enough. That'll be like month 7. There's our pay. About what we expected. Doing worse in Latin America, but Asia and Russia not far behind. Doing okay in North America, and great in Europe and Africa, of course. Pushes us to 2.7. Immediately gives us enough to do our second training center, which in turn pushes us towards max power capacity, so we'll also do our 4th and hopefully final generator. Then we'll fill things out a bit more at 404, we'll get a second hangar going, we'll get our radar going, and a single missile battery. But long term, the idea is to have a full bank of 3 radars and 3 batteries going all the way left, and then a 3rd hangar all the way right. And honestly, that's probably pretty much it. I mean, that's our bare minimum basic airbase. Like, eventually, I guess it might be worth considering doing a small living quarters, a squad of soldiers, a separate dropship on a 4th hangar maybe, but that's all for way, way later down the line. For now, we've got a whole bunch of other things to worry about, not the least of which is getting our second airbase set. Oh, hold on. We've got electrical anomalies and radar anomalies on the southern tip of Latin America. That is not UFO activity. That's something else. Let's give it a quick peek. Pretty sure we know what's going on, though. Yeah, and we've got our first alien base. That does make sense. That's why Latin America is in such bad shape, because they've got an alien base which is consistently cranking up the panic level. Though, on the bright side, if we can take that out, that will immediately help reduce that panic, pull it back down to acceptable levels, and give us a huge influx of resources. The question being, are we really ready to handle that? I'm gonna say maybe, if we wait for the Dragonfly. That's about 2 weeks out though, so we'll likely have some shoot-downs before then. Which will give us a separate chance to grab some extra resources. Yeah, see, it's regularly triggering non-UFO specific events, which are all further accelerating panic growth. Though it does also ultimately kind of give away the base's relative location, because those are all tightly grouped right on the base. Got enough ops points to potentially clear an infiltrator, but looks like we didn't get any cooperative roles. Could grab the engineer. Slightly faster build time on a dropship, perhaps? Though we'd have to wait another... Oh, no, scratch that. By the time we actually had enough points, it would already be day 161, which would reshuffle. So we'll just wait for that. A X3 Dragonfly Dropship. The X3 Dragonfly is a tilt-rotor dropship that combines the performance of a turboprop aircraft with the functionality of a helicopter. Increased carrying capacity and speed make it a major upgrade over the old X2 Skyhawk. The most notable feature of the Dragonfly are the twin tiltable rotor assemblies, each of which is auto-stabilized and can be controlled independently. This makes the Dragonfly easy to maneuver in tight spaces, an important consideration given it will frequently be called upon to deploy soldiers into confined urban environments. These rotors are reinforced with alien alloys and driven by a pair of ER2 Elenium reactors that allow the generation of truly monstrous amounts of thrust. When locked in the flight position, i.e. tilted forwards, the Dragonfly is easily capable of breaking the sound barrier. Although smaller than the Skyhawk, the Dragonfly can nonetheless carry a larger squad of 10 combatants, including up to 2 vehicles. This increased carrying capacity is primarily possible due to the removal of the Skyhawk's enormous fuel tanks, which are no longer required due to the aforementioned Elenium reactors. Unsurprisingly, constructing a Dragonfly will be expensive and consume large quantities of precious alien materials. Yet I suspect it is a price well worth paying. One does not require an intellect as vast as my own to observe that bringing more soldiers into battle will increase our chances of victory. Indeed. But let's see how much that's actually going to cost us to build. Won't do us much good if we can't actually start construction. Also get that battle armor going. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. Though we are now stuck waiting on the empty hangar, which is why we got that going as quickly as we could once we had the ops points. What's the build time on that? 4 days, 12 hours. Okay, well, you know what? We're not going to wait, I think. Oh man, it's risky though. That would basically leave us with no way to deploy squads for 4 days. We haven't seen aliens in a while. I mean, they are due any time now, but then again, there's only one ship we can actually raid without having to pay for it, and we won't have ops points for that. Yeah, alright, well, we'll chance it. We'll go ahead and decommission the SkyRaider, which nets us an extra 150, nice. And immediately roll into building its replacement. Dragonfly 1. Which actually does leave us with just enough Elenium to also do another Phantom. Well, almost. We're still 100k short. But we're getting there. Oh, also need to keep an eye on that calendar. Day 161, that's when we stop to do ops. Okay, yeah, we can work with this. Latin America is in trouble, so we'll go ahead and clear, I think, this infiltrator. Not like they really gave us much in the way of other viable options, so, Ugh, that's gonna be an expensive one. I think all the ones we have left are expensive ones. Well, that one. Yeah, I mean, the science op in North America is not too bad, but the rest are all pretty well entrenched. Though, you know, I only have myself to blame for that. Really should have cleared them out earlier. First batch of building done at 4:04. Let's go ahead and start. Well, no, let's hold off for a sec. Yeah, we don't have enough to actually do our second Phantom, so no point in moving things around yet. We'll keep all of our combat-ready aircrafts at XCOM for now. Though, speaking of XCOM, final generator up and running. Second training center still in the works. And there's our Dragonfly. Fantastic. Still 4 days out on the Guardian. And then plus extra time to actually build it, so we're not going to wait for that. Let's, Yeah, we can't really afford to wait. Latin America's in rough shape. One sec, let me prep a team. For better or worse, we're going in. And we're back. Team is set, taking full advantage of the new, larger dropship size. Though still inherently limited by, of course, our finite armor and armaments. Would have been nice if we could get some extra weapon and armor upgrades, but you know, it is what it is. We made do with what we've got. Thankfully, we had several magnetic rifles in stock. Oh, and then I don't remember if I've already mentioned it, but you can also see I've rearranged our inventory. That is to make room for a prospective third module. Though at the moment we're held back by our weight limits, so that's for later. And then you'll note that with our current crew, I made sure that every single person we selected does not have the award for valor, which you get for successfully raiding an alien base. Though in some cases that does mean we're going in with raw recruits who have no medals, but I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, I did carefully curate our newer recruits. They're the finest humanity has to offer. Like my friend Xeno King here. Very, very human. But yeah, as ever, it's calculated risk, you know. We're going in with less experienced troops, but at the same time, we can't really afford to skip that potential burst of extra growth. That said, to those who are about to die, etc., etc. Oh, had some alien ships incoming, just as we were going in. We'll have to make sure we take care of that on the way back out. This alien facility is being used as a base for extraterrestrial operations on Earth, slowly increasing panic in the surrounding regions. Capturing the facility will improve our strategic position and grant significant amounts of resources. Eliminate all hostile units. If there is a Xenonaut soldier and no aliens in the base command room, the location of all remaining aliens will be revealed. Good to know. And yes, that is going to be our main priority. Although a lot of things have changed since early access, especially since last time I played was Milestone 4. One thing I do recall about alien bases is that the best way to deal with them is to punch straight through, take the command room, and then pick off the rest once you know where they all are. Though we have to actually get there first, so let's check sides. Okay, relatively clear. Prep for breach. We're gonna punch straight towards the back. That's usually where they have the teleporters. Or at least it's where they used to have them. I don't know if they still do. As ever, I'm mainly going off the faulty memories of alternate universe me. He remembers them always being in the back. But in this universe, it is entirely possible that they've added additional alien base layouts, which might scatter them around a bit more unpredictably. Also, hopefully they don't have grenades. If they do, we might be in trouble clustering up like this, but fingers crossed. Hold. We're hearing Andromedons and Servitors. Breach. Speaking of which, Andromedon and a Wraith non-com. Val's down 12 armor. This thing might still have another shot on tap, so let's bait it. Nice. Hey, okay. Andromedon out. Let's go for the non-com, but be wary. This looks like a teleportation booth, so there might be more inside. Or, honestly, more right behind it, so we should also get a peek behind. No door off left, but we do have one off right. Also probably in back. Let's get a peek in back. We'll go roundabout. And then end on the far side, shoot this guy in the back. Okay, okay. Looking pretty clear. Though we do have a door here. Yeah, push right up on him. Oh, come on, man. Alright, we'll do this the hard way. Nolan on the move. I don't like having that door on my side, but that's fine. We'll have someone else clear the booth once we've got this guy dealt with. Target locked. Lovely. Should be an easy kill, but we'll go for cap if we can. Let's bring someone up to tap. And Rax. Go for cap. No, go for kill. Oh, goodness. Okay, yeah, maybe. Gosh darn it. Guess I should have gone for cap after all. That's more armor trimmed off poor Val. But it's fine, we got the alien out. Check up top. Looks clear. And back down. Yeah, I was gonna go for cap, but we didn't have enough for two swings, so I went for shoddy instead. Unfortunately, we had that stray friendly. I guess once I decided to go for kill, I really should have hit it from a different angle. Ah, well. Hopefully Val holds it together. Does suck losing half our armor this early in. Honestly, really makes me wish they had like an engineer class or something. You know, a type of soldier who could quickly patch armor or robotic units. Not necessarily perfectly, but like the tech equivalent of a medic. I suppose you could argue that it's not, like, super realistic, but at the same time, we're talking about nanotech and such. Hi. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh man, Andromedons are rough. They can't be stunned, so I mean, we're basically guaranteed to eat a hit once we provoke it. Soften. Oh gosh. Okay, well, that's even worse. We've got a Servitor right behind. But one thing at a time. Target provoked. Nice. Whipped on the second shot, but as you can see, the stun guns do actual damage to robotic units, so that's good. That is a quick bypass for their heavy armor. Yeah, the main guys at a disadvantage on these are the riflemen. Their magnetics will barely penetrate on Andromedon's defense. So easiest way to take them down is sniper assaults or shieldmen. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. Thank you. And now the Servitor. Let's really hope there's no one else in there, because otherwise this might get really messy really quick. Got both shotties on tap, so that should be sufficient. Servitors are generally slightly lighter than Andromedons. Oh, nice. Okay, way lighter. Also, they explode, so yes, something to keep in mind. Noted. Alright, covered door. Oh, well, yeah, that's a problem. Huh. Okay, well, I guess we'll take you out. Really hoping that shield blocks the explosion. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. The shield did indeed block the explosion. Seymore still took a very minor hit, like 1 damage. But very manageable. I wonder if the shield intervention reduced the damage, or Seymour's armor just ate it. Either way, that worked out pretty well for us. Let's get some backup on Trip. Just want to have some guns ready in case someone comes busting out that door. Or down one of those hallways, I suppose. Though that would be slightly more problematic, because we don't really have good angles on that. Ultimately, I do think we're going to keep pushing straight back, so unless something jumps out at us here... Oh! Yep, that sucked. Oh, I see. Nice, yes. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm feeling a bit conflicted about how all that played out, but we're all still alive, so, you know, it could certainly be worse. Hi. Go away, please. Oh boy, Seymore, buddy. Hang in there, man. Andromedon out. Nice work, Trip, taking out the other one, too. That was lovely. Though, sadly, the corpse was vaporized by this guy. If we can just get visual on him real quick. That was a Wraith soldier, I believe, which back in early access were the first ones to start packing grenades. A custom still carried on to this day. Though, in this particular case, I suppose technically the captain of the Observer was actually the first we saw packing a plasma grenade. They just happened to die in the crash, so we never actually went up against it. Or maybe we did. Maybe that was one of the mantids we killed when we took that Observer. Who knows? Regardless, that definitely sucked. Oh man, where is this guy? He's got to be in the back of the hall here, right? Unless he went out the door and it closed right after. Shit. Okay, hold on. Hang tight. We'll, Man, this is gonna pull us off course, but fine. We can't leave a Wraith soldier on our flank. Oh, this is how it starts. Okay, so we keep half our guys on the generator door, just in case someone pushes, and then the other half on hunting duty. Plus at least one on our back. Watch our rear. Keep eyes on the door we just came in through. Yeah, that's fine. Watch our backs. Oh, you absolute... I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna kill you so hard. No, Mark, keep it together. Alright, well that sucked, but now we know where he is. Let's knock this guy out. Should have a clean approach. Unless he's got backup, so let's use caution. Okay. Airlock's clear. Shotgun. Nice. Assault and peppered. Target's well done. We've got another door on far side, but we're not going to mess with that. We're just going to start, I think, peeling back. Keep moving forward, because that back there looks like it's probably our best bet as far as where they've got the command room tucked. It'll take us a round or two to get ourselves reset. But in the meanwhile, keep eyes out for other potential flankers. We've got grenades and plasma machine guns in the mix. Hold. Oh, interesting. Very quiet out there all of a sudden. And another three-way intersection. Lab off right, so that's definitely not our command room. I still think it's most likely this one in back, but we'll want to take it slow, give everyone time to catch up. We'll need to at least peek on sides before we push forward again. Just set for now, keep points in reserve. Weapons at the ready. Really hope these generators don't explode. That's way more clustered than I'd really like to be, but it's fine. I'm sure that's fine. Everything's fine. But, you know, we'll have a few folks maybe hang back a little, just in case. Come on, Trip. Don't want to miss the fun. Hold. Okay, once again, very quiet. Peek on left. Airlock, okay. Peek on right. Dissection lab. With Andromedon, okay. Let's carefully remove that threat. Soften. Armor stripped. Go for kill. Actually, Nolan, can we get you up front here? Now, go for kill. Ooh, hate that. Die, please. And there we go. Target out. Room clear with no other exits, so we're completely secure on right. Push. Yeah, push door. Airlock on left is still a bit of a question mark, but we'll keep a couple of guys there to draw fire. Otherwise, we'll stay focused on moving forward. It has been a bit of a struggle, but once we get that command center, it's pretty much over, because then no matter how many of them are left, we have a huge advantage in hunting them down. You know, that's when we can really start taking our time and go for caps and such. Though, obviously, I'll edit most of that out. It'll just be like a quick final capture montage, you know? But we gotta get there first, and that is easier said than done, since the stiffest resistance tends to be in said command chamber. Servitor. Breach. Airlock, of course. Alright, set. I mean, this is going to require clustering up, which I hate, but... But, you know, fingers crossed, I guess. Come on. I mean, really, what's our alternative there? You know, you either risk getting nuked, or you risk not having enough guns up front. And for me, I'd rather just make sure we've got enough guns, even if we do get a bit tenderized in the process. No, get up. Hold. Nope, we're good. Breach. And there we go. Oh, man. Servitor just off left. Wraith non-com ahead. But that's our teleporters. Command room's right above us. Alright, could someone please very gently remove this Servitor? Oh gosh, okay, come on. If that thing actually fires into the corridor we're in, we are super screwed. That'll lock the entire attack party. So please, please do not miss your shots. Oh, thank goodness for that. All right, Servitor out. Clear the rest. Thankfully, a very surprisingly light contingent. Just 2 Wraith non-coms. Make that one. Though obviously we've still got some up top as well. They might poke their heads down to see what's going on, so we should be ready for that. Oh, back corner. Nope, we're good. All right, start positioning. I'm not sure we can get the guy in the back corner this round, so we might just lock them down. But we'll give it a shot. Mark, you think you got this? I know you're still a bit out of sorts after eating that plasma bolt. Hey, nicely done. All right, teleportation room secure. Set on pads, prepare for breach. And I mean, honestly, as long as they don't come down and preemptively strike, once we start playing musical teleporters, it's pretty much over. Oh, unless they've got like robots up there. Robots might complicate things, but if it is just wraiths, then we've definitely got this, because I expressly loaded for bear with flashbangs just for this. Hold. Nope, we are good. All right, Raiders, let's get it done. Let's take command. 5 targets pinged. Lock them down. Starting with the one actually facing you. And come on back. And I mean, this is pretty much the whole fight. We're sending people in one at a time to lock everyone down, and then we'll pick at them after. Might take a couple of rounds, but we should theoretically be able to kill or cap all 5 of them. We still have 1 blind spot though, so let's make sure we clear that. Okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we've got 4 soldiers, and then I'm going to assume 1 commander. Though visually, I could not tell you which is which. Hold on, let me bring someone else up real quick. Hi. Thank you, Seymore. Very epic. Head on back. And let's start a Trimmin. Trip on the move. Nice. Target tag, but still up. Could be primed for cap. But that's not a priority just yet. We still have 1 active foe on far side, so let's go ahead and deal with that. Yeah, gotta lock that guy down. Target locked. Lovely. Come on back. And now we just pick. Though we will keep one person on the door, just in case. That'll be our other shieldman. Xeno up top. Nice. You go off, King. Val. We don't really need that cover. Go straight through. Poink. Crawl sets on door. Shield's still over 100, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Evening, folks. That's fine. We've got all the time in the world, at least until we run out of flashbangs. Though it would be nice if we could save at least a few for the final roundup. But not absolutely necessary. Target out. Don't want to risk destroying the central console. Mark. Go for cat. Nope. All right, hang tight. Someone's bleeding. Round 2. Fight. Oof, wow, okay. Hi, hold 1 sec, please. I'll be right with you. Could someone pop up on far side real quick? They set up a welcome party, but Z, no thanks. Go for kill. Lovely. Thank you, Trip. Head on back. I mean, we could probably get away with caps at this point, but also, again, it does come down to how many grenades we want to have left for the final push. Since, obviously, capturing here would slow us down a bit and require more grenades to keep them contained. Though we do have the bonk sticks. Alright, fine, you convince me. Let's see if we can actually grab a cap or two. I mean, look, I was fine with just killing them, but the RNG decided they should live. One out. Ooh, and that's not just a Wraith soldier, that's a Wraith warrior. Come out to play, eh? Riflemen can't cap, so they'll just pot shot. Run away. Oh, close. That was almost death, but leaves him primed for cap. Very nice. Mark? No. Fall back. We'll need one more round. Sorry, bud. I tried. Oh, wow. You, okay. Well, never mind. I thought you were on the brink of death, but apparently not. Oh, that might actually be our base commander. All right. Let's wrap this up, or at least this segment. Target's pinged. Desperately trying to cover both sides. Let's get someone up on the other side. Flashbang the far one first. Target locked. Hold, please. Now, cap. Please don't turn around and shoot me right after I do this, because that would really bum me out. Oh, thank goodness for that. Alright, Warrior 2, capped. Which just leaves this guy off right, who I am hoping is our commander. Go for cap, and this guy we can, in fact, use the bonk stick. Racks him up. Oh, no. Another warrior. I guess the commander must have been one of the other guys. Ah, well. But the important thing is we now know exactly where everyone else is. And I am seeing 5. 3 Wraiths, 2 Servitors. We actually did a pretty good job of clearing out the right side on approach. Yeah, we really just missed the rooms off left. Storage and brainwashing, it looks like. We're pretty much shoo-in for victory from here on out. But, let's see if we hit a hurdle along the way. First contact. I'd prefer he was facing away, but we can work with this. Hi! locked. And target stocked. On we go. Target's clustered, but I think we've got this. Breach. Please don't shoot us. Please don't shoot us. Fire in the hole. Oh, Val, why? Oh, please, someone. Please, finish. Finish the Servitor before it machine guns us. Thank you. Okay, Servitor out. Wraith suppressed and uncloaked. Easy cap. Let's get the other guy locked. Yeah, that works. That should get a flashbang around the corner without him being able to see us. But first, let's get you out of the way. Alright, you're supposed to fall down. Crawl. Thank you. And Rax. Flashbang out. Lovely. And I think we've got this. Really comes down to what those last two guys do. Nope. We're good. Yeah, man, once you get that command room, it's pretty much over. There is still some risk, just because of, banked reaction shots and such, but knowing exactly where they are and when to strike is a pretty massive advantage. So yeah, that has not changed. When you're taking an alien base, you want to gun it for the command room as quickly as possible. Once you do that, it really removes most of the risk. Oh, and look at that. All sorts of things to like. 3 new items: alien surgical tables, Servitor wreckage, and Andron wreckage. A whole passel of resources, and a lot of growth, plus a big old pile of medals. Awards for valor down the line: Golden Star for Krull, Golden Star for Trip, Crux Solaris for Raximus, and for Trip. And of course, a Crimson Heart. Wouldn't be a proper mission without at least one. And man, look at those kill counts. Rax and Trip went to town. Alright, come on back. Oh, right, also these guys. Let's go ahead and knock them out. That's either a scout and escort or a couple of fighters, either way. Oh, nope, that's fighters. You could tell by the way they detoured the second we got near them. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, shoot. Please don't go after the dropship. Okay, no, I guess that was maybe a scout. Also unlock nanofab. As well as this. Autopsy Andron. Analysis of the recovered Andron remains confirmed that these fearless creatures are entirely robotic, with no trace of biological tissue detected among the wreckage. Their physiology is nonetheless much like that of any other bipedal humanoid. Synthetic muscles built from servomotors and hydraulic pistons sit over a heavy titanium skeleton, granting a similar range of motion to the average human. Unfortunately, these robotic muscles appear rather stronger than their biological equivalent. Androns can smash through brick walls like paper, and the immense weight of the armor plate that encases their body barely seems to inconvenience them at all. Buried deep within the chest cavity is a small alenium reactor that appears capable of providing sufficient energy for months of operation, while the metal skull contains numerous processing units that presumably constitute an electronic brain. This brain is notably smaller than that of any comparable biological creature, yet despite this, battlefield reports suggest Androns remain perfectly competent at basic combat skills, such as marksmanship. However, they are notably slow to process situational changes, and display a puzzling reluctance to utilize cover. Androns are likely to pose our soldiers significant issues on the battlefield. Finding a way to breach their armored shells will be paramount to success. As my test suggests, the electronic innards beneath are actually surprisingly delicate. Yep, we pretty much saw that in action. Once you peel off the armor, they go down pretty quick. With the exception of our mag rifle, since those are kinetic. That tended to bounce right off. But fortunately we had plenty of shotguns and stun guns, so those still made short work. Autopsy Servitor. A Servitor is a robotic drone almost a meter wide and roughly 50 kilograms in weight. Equipped with 5 vectored thrust nozzles that attach to the central body via metal arms, it is capable of floating around the battlefield with surprising speed. Atop the body sits a spherical head that contains a suite of electronic components. This includes the Servitor's central processing unit as well as a powerful optical sensor package that allows the drone to interpret its surroundings with remarkable fidelity. The frontal eye is actually an unusual plasma weapon that fires long bursts of curiously compact plasma projectiles. Though these lack penetration and inflict relatively minor damage, a full burst can easily kill a poorly protected soldier. Close analysis suggests this weapon may actually be little more than an advanced welding tool. Indeed, given their mediocre combat performance, it is plausible that servitors are simply maintenance drones pressed into military service. However, reports suggest servitors are also capable of administering medical assistance to nearby alien units, spraying injuries with a healing stream of painkillers, stem cells, and coagulants. Unsurprisingly, your soldiers therefore consider them high-priority targets on the battlefield. Finally, note the alenium reactor of the Servitor tends to explode spectacularly once sufficiently damaged. And while being showered with shrapnel is clearly hazardous for your troops, remember that it is equally dangerous for nearby aliens. Indeed. Yeah, we saw both of those in action towards the end. Both the healing ray and the friendly fire via explosion. Also, they're apparently small, which I do question, considering how large they look on the field, but, you know, the game does seem to play it pretty fast and loose when it comes to quantifying size. I mean, really, the important thing is that we know what size they're supposed to be. Which we now do. Unfortunately, I don't think we can actually capture those things alive, but we can still potentially bank damage bonuses by gathering appropriate remains, which we've got a ways to go on. Same with the Wraiths, actually. I guess maybe we shouldn't have gone so gung-ho on captures. Oh, no, scratch that. Even if we had killed every single one, we still wouldn't have had enough. We still would have been one short. Yeah, that's fine. I'd rather have the cash. Though I will say that's less than I would have expected, given how much we pulled out of that place. But more than enough to get that Phantom going, plus some potential Guardian armor and maybe our Quantum Array. That said, I do feel like this is a good place to call it. Nicely done, Raiders. Bit of a slog there. I'm going to have to cut a lot of that out, especially towards the end, but not bad at all. We'll pick up here next time as we delve deeper into month 6. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Rowan Church, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.